Okay, welcome to Hanging Out with Bob, a podcast hosted by me, Bob Edholm. Thanks for joining us, and let's get started. Well, I have to believe that the winter of 2026 is eventually coming to an end in Minnesota, and not just because spring is officially here, at least according to the calendar, or that the Minnesota Twins are actually playing baseball games that count. No, the winter of 2026 in Minnesota is coming to an end because the boys' state high school basketball tournament came to an end on March 28th. By my unofficial count, it was the 113th boys' state high school basketball tournament in Minnesota. I might be off by a year or two with that number, 113, but I do know it's Minnesota's oldest state high school tournament. Now, in this episode, although there are 4 different classes in the boys' state high school basketball tournament, with 8 teams in each class of the tournaments, 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A, we're going to concentrate mostly on the 2 largest classes, Class 4A primarily, but also 3A. And it won't be just about the state tournament games that were played either at Target Center in downtown Minneapolis or at Williams Arena at the University of Minnesota campus. And that's because sometimes some of the best games are the postseason section games played by teams just trying to get to the state tournament. And here with me to talk about those key postseason games and the state tournament of 2026 are Scott Black and Steve Durant, 2 friends of mine who, like me, grew up in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, the Heights. Scott and Steve follow boys high school basketball about as closely as anyone in the state. Seriously. So Scotty, Stevie, welcome back to Hanging Out with Bob.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Bobby.
Just a little background on my 2 guests. Their names are probably familiar to many of our loyal listeners. Scott appeared on a previous podcast episode with me to talk about his decades of attending the Minnesota Boys State High School Basketball Tournament since 1972, which is just amazing. And Steve, who is the most knowledgeable Rolling Stones fan I've ever met, appeared on a previous podcast episode to talk about his top 5 Stones albums. I still remember those 5 albums, Stevie: Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, Sticky Fingers, and last but not least, Exile on Main Street.
You got him, Bobby.
Both Scott and Steve were fantastic in those previous podcast appearances, so it's great to have you back, guys.
Thank you.
Now, I said we're going to be concentrating primarily on the Class 3A and 4A tournaments, but just for the record, I do want to list all 4 of the 2026 Minnesota Boys State High School basketball champions. In Class 1A, the smallest class based on enrollment, the number 5 seed Hills Beaver Creek beat number 2 seed Janesville Waldorf Pemberton, or thankfully JWP for short, 64-33. And it wasn't even that close. It was like 32-9 at the half, I think. Just a blowout. It was the first boys state high school basketball title for the winning Patriots, although they also won the 9-player state football title in the Prep Bowl last fall, which I didn't remember either, but they won 2 state championships. It was pretty cool.
Very impressive.
You guys know where Hills Beaver Creek High School is located?
Southern Minnesota, I believe.
That's a good guess. It's in Hills, Minnesota, about 20 miles due east of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So it's way down in that corner. And by the way, the total secondary enrollment at the Hills Beaver Creek High, that is grades 7 to 12, is 199 students. So that averages out to about 33 students per grade. So it's a tiny school. In Class 2A, number 3 seed Minnehaha Academy upset the number 1 seed Goodhue 81-69. It was the 6th boys state basketball title for the winning Red Hawks, and their first since 2021. Minnehaha Academy, a Christian school with a total enrollment of about 375 students in grades 9 through 12, is located in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, not quite 3 miles due north of the stunning Minnehaha Falls.
I just biked by the school.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, you live
yesterday.
south. Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. In Class 3A, number 1 seed Totino Grace beat number 2 seed De La Salle in a close one, 72-70. It was the winning Eagles' 4th Class 3A crown in the past 5 seasons. Totino Grace, a Catholic high school with an enrollment of close to 700 students in grades 9 through 12, is located in the suburb of Fridley, about 10 miles north of downtown Minneapolis. And finally, in Class 4A, the largest class based on enrollment, number 5 seed Chaska beat number 7 seed Apple Valley 63-55. It was the winning Hawks' first boys state basketball title since 2004 and their second overall. Chaska High School, with a total enrollment of about 1,500 students in grades 9 through 12, is about a 30-minute drive southwest of downtown Minneapolis.
Was that Dave Dahlke? Did he play on that team, or was he before
I
that?
think Dahlke did play.
Spencer Tollickson was on
yeah,
the
that's
Chaska
right,
team
Spencer.
in
Dahlke was
2004.
Yeah, he was before
prior to
him.
that. It was
Yeah,
probably
that's-
in the 90s.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, Spencer, I forgot about
Spencer
Spencer. He went there.
Tollickson,
Right,
yeah,
right.
2004.
So, congratulations to all these state champions. Guys, our high school, the Columbia Heights Highlanders, have never won a boys state basketball title, unfortunately. But do you guys remember when Heights won the state football title in 1979?
Of course.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is that was a huge deal for the students, the alumni like us, even the whole community. I remember going to Parade Stadium and seeing that game, and I was
Yes.
really happy for those kids.
I was there as well.
Yeah, yeah. And you remember that, it's a big celebration. So all 4 of these schools got to do this past week after winning. So it was great. Okay, guys, just for a brief moment, I want you to talk about your longtime interest in attending high school basketball games, how that got started, and why you still enjoy going to watch high school basketball games.
Well, I don't think I go back as far as Scott, but I've been watching it for decades. I think maybe in the 90s or the late 80s, I really started to pay attention. And then the great North teams with Khalid Al-Amin
right,
really
yeah.
got me going in the early 90s. And from that point forward, I've really been pretty interested in high school hoop.
Yep.
Yeah, you and I have been going to state tournament games for I don't know how long, Steve. Long time.
Decades.
It's hard for me to call him Steve because I know him as Boney.
That's okay. Boney.
I can call him either one,
Either one, it's fine.
as long as I don't call him late for dinner.
Late for dinner.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a drop I can put in there somewhere.
All right. Well, are you done there, Steve?
I am.
Okay. Well, as I stated on the podcast that you and I did, Bobby, basketball has been kind of part of our family life for a long time. My grandpa took a team to the state tournament back in the 30s. Triumph Montgomery was the two schools that merged. And then my dad's cousin, Rod Black, who was in the Hall of Fame, he also he coached at Danube. And then my dad was a coach before he changed careers. He coached under Jim Hastings up at Duluth Central before he went to work for IBM. And so my dad and I started going to state tournaments back when they were
One class.
One class.
Yeah,
We'd go to Williams Arena. We'd go to the games, we'd go have dinner, and then we'd go to the night games. So that's kind of how we started. And then my son and I carried on the tradition, and then Boney kind of horned in on that as well. So the 3 of us have been going for a while.
Yep. That's cool. I think it's great that you've kept that tradition going
Yeah.
since the early 70s. So, and I don't know if you guys post this on your Instagram pages, but do you know approximately how many basketball games you actually went and saw this past year? Did you go like once a week or every few weeks or?
I would imagine in the 20s for me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Because early in the season there's some great tournaments in December, and so you'll be able to see maybe 4 games in one day. And then Scott and I went to a holiday tournament and saw a couple of games, so that really gets it started. But probably averaging maybe a game a week, for sure, a game every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'd touch base. Okay, let's look at the next week and what are some good matchups. And so we do that frequently. And, Totino Grace, I live about 6 blocks from Totino Grace.
Right.
And they even though they're 3A, I mean, their schedule is filled
They
with
play a lot of
4A
4As, don't
schools.
they? Yeah.
They're definitely prepared when the state tournament comes.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about, we hadn't seen, and we'll get onto this, but Apple Valley and Chaska, neither one of us had seen them all year. No. The teams on the southern half of the town.
Sure. It's a little further away. So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it's always something that I think the both of us try to do. I think early in the season, Star Tribune comes out with a top team list and also a top player list. And I think I really want to make sure that I see all of the best teams and all of the best players, certainly before the regions and the state tournament. And, usually I accomplish that, and that's kind of a fun little task.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm curious about something else, guys. Besides the sports sections of the local dailies, like the Star Tribune and the Pioneer Press, what other sources do you rely on to stay up to date on which high school teams are the best? Are those kind of the primary sources you use?
Minnesota Basketball Hub is
okay.
where we go.
Okay.
It's called, it's Star Tribune
Varsity.
Varsity
Strip.
now.
Yeah, I think
Varsity.
it's different.
Yes,
but,
it is
but
different.
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the problem with that, though, is a lot of times there are no box scores. I think it depends on the coaches. Now, in the state tournament, they always had the box scores, the full box scores, field goals attempted and field goals
Yeah.
made, free throws,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But during the regular season, I mean,
Kind of hard to.
it would be really hard.
Yeah, yep. Do you guys ever, or have you ever seen, I think, Scott, you actually pointed me out to the State High School League's website, but they've got a kind of a newsletter online. It's called the League Journal. And they do a really good job of covering sports, every tournament, like stories on the boys basketball. Every game that was played in the subsections, they've got brackets. I just found it really helpful. And I don't know if they've got their own staff or they're getting stuff from other sources, but I found that to be a really helpful one too. When
That's in the State High School League.
the Minnesota State High
Okay.
School League
Well,
website,
good to know.
and then there's a link. It just says news, and then it's called the League Journal, and they've got a lot of good articles. Like I said, all sports, and
good.
they cover stuff really well. I found it really helpful. It was just one of the things I kind of found by accident. So there are ways to keep track of high school sports besides the dailies.
Well, one thing that you and I were talking about before, Bobby, is this is the first year that Star Tribune has not put the box scores of the games on, Tuesday and Friday nights in the paper, and that's always a great way to, follow teams and individual performance, and so that's made it more challenging.
Yep, no, I can see that. So. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, we're going to focus primarily on the 4A and 3A basketball this year. We live in the Twin Cities, and most of the games that you go to are either 4A, 3A. Unless you saw Minnehaha Academy during the season, that'd be a 2A game.
Nope.
But, just demographically, I can see that's why we want to stick primarily with those classes. So. And just a short primer for our listeners on how this postseason is actually set up for Minnesota boys state high school basketball tournaments. 4 classes, like I said. Each class has 8 sections, and each section ideally has 8 teams. Although I found sometimes there's not 8, there's only 7, and sometimes there's more than 8. There might be 9. So then they have like a first round play-in game, and then that winner gets to the quarterfinals. But that's primarily how it's set up. So generally, you have to win 3 games. You have to win the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then the final. And then you get to state. That's how they set up Minnesota. And if you are a number 1 seed and you're in a section with just 7 teams, then you've already advanced to semifinals. You get like there's one less game you have to play to get to state.
I mean,
the 4A.
it's you win 2 games, you go to state,
Yeah.
which is way different than a long
the
time
way
ago.
it used to be.
Yeah.
When they had one class, there were a lot
Right.
of games. You had to jump through a lot of hoops to get there.
Right.
So, and as I mentioned earlier, just getting to the boys' state high school basketball tournament, that's a significant accomplishment because you've got 2 or 3 games you have to win to get there. And there's a lot of good teams that aren't even fortunate enough to make it to state. So I can see why there's a lot of interest in the postseason section games because it's some great basketball.
It's akin to getting to the Final Four.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
All right, let's start with the Class 3A sections. By my unofficial count of the 63 schools that played postseason games in 3A last year, 27 of the 63 teams, or nearly 43%, were actually from or near the Twin Cities metro area. No, you said, Scott, you've gone to some 3A games, to Tino Gray specifically. Were there any others in the Twin Cities you remember going to, like, Richfield or I don't know? Or were they mostly 4A?
Yeah, no, we was that you and I? We tried to get to a to a Richfield game. Was it Richfield D? Or I can't remember.
I don't think so. Prior to that, I went to see Richfield in D play at Richfield,
okay.
and De La Salle beat them by 1 point in a
Yeah.
really good game. And I think that the 3 best teams in 3A were De La Salle, Richfield, and the eventual
Totino
winner,
Grace. Yeah,
TG.
yeah, yep.
And so, they were good teams, evenly matched.
Well, yeah, and didn't D beat Richfield in the semis? Is that what? And that was a close game.
Yeah,
that was a
close
great game.
Yeah, well, we get into
Exactly
that. Yep,
what
they
you'd
did.
expect based on what I had said
Right,
earlier.
right,
Yeah,
yep,
they were
right.
very evenly matched.
And then I kind of forgot. TG traveled up to Alexandria, and I was talking to a guy at the club, and he overheard me talking about the game, and his son was a senior guard for Totino. So he was at the game. He says it was a great atmosphere, but Totino was up by 20 points at one point, but Alexandria came storming back. So then I'm thinking, Alexandria will be another team in 3A, but I had forgotten that Alexandria moved up to 4A.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And just to make sure I've got this right, guys, the section seating, it's handled like by local coaches or representatives of the schools. I mean,
Or
do you
the
know
Minnesota High School League.
That's a good question.
Well, I thought maybe at the state level they do. There's like a state high school
Well, the
league
state-
committee that would
right,
do the
but the
seating.
sections, probably
who
the
else would they
coaches.
get?
Who else
Yeah,
would they
who-
get?
yeah, who would they
Yes,
get?
Yes.
And I have to say, I just by researching this, they did a pretty good job because in Class 3A, I believe every number one seed won their section.
It's
In
always,
3A.
it's always a chalk tournament.
Yeah.
In the regions and in the state tournament.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
year was different, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah,
4A had
it
some real
always
surprises.
comes down to the number one and number
It does.
two for the region.
Although,
finals.
to your point, and we might differ on this a little bit. Steve kind of thinks maybe it's at least in 4A, seed the teams before they play section play. So we're assured of gaining the best teams in the state tournament.
Right.
Well,
Is that because of like travel and geography? I mean, if you had like Duluth coming down, or Duluth East coming down to play
yeah,
Chasker, I don't know.
historically there's some pretty weak sections, and so on the quarterfinal day, if you can get a couple good games, that's all you're hoping for.
Yeah. This year was really
But this
interesting.
was an exception to the, and so
Yeah.
I mean with Chaska and Apple Valley.
There's always blowouts on quarterfinals.
Yes.
Yeah. I was surprised by some of the scores. I mean, they were doubled up a lot of times. The teams were just that much better. It just so mismatched. So
Right.
okay, let's talk about 3A first. Section 1, which was the number one seed, was Northfield. They were rated 5th in the state in that final, they call it the Minnesota Basketball Coaches Association poll, the final one of the season. They were number 5 in 3A. They got a bye because they were number one seed, but then they beat Byron in the semifinals, and then they beat Austin to win the championship. So they got to go to the state, and which is cool because you probably read about this too. You know how long it had been since Northfield had been in the state tournament?
I think refresh my memory on that.
1932.
Wow.
Yeah, that obviously it was a one-class tournament back then.
Right.
And you know who the president was in 1932?
Roosevelt.
Grover Cleveland.
He got elected in 32, but at the time of the tournament it was Herbert Hoover.
Okay.
I just thought, man, that's so long
That's my
ago.
Heights education showing there.
And you know who was on that Northfield team? Jesse James before he got shot. A lot of people don't know that.
Good one. Okay, in so we got Northfield as one of the teams. Section 2, the number one seed, which also won, was Mankato East. And the interesting about that was they beat St. Peter to win it, but that was their 5th straight year going to the state. So
Yeah, I didn't. They won it last year. They beat TG, didn't they? Or no, that was Alexandria.
Alexandria,
Yes.
yeah, beat them in semis.
But yeah, Mankato had some really good players the last couple of years, but I didn't know anything about them this year.
No. Well, it's hard because all those teams are out.
Yeah.
You know, they're in a part of the state where we would never just drive down the road and see a game. It's just
Right.
so. Now, this was closer to home. In Section 3, that was Minneapolis South. They were the number one seed, and they beat South St. Paul to go to state. It was 76-65, so it was a pretty good game as far as the section championships go. I want to talk about Section 4 for just a moment because it's closer to home, as you guys probably know. In one of the quarterfinal games, there was an upset. Number 4 seed St. Anthony Village was upset by our alma mater, Columbia Heights. the 5 seed. It was 83-66 at St. Anthony. So
Yeah, usually I go to see Heights play at least once a year, and I did not see them this year.
And I did not know about that game either until I was just looking it up in the high school league. But they won that game. But then the bad news is they had to play De La Salle in the semifinals. They went to D to play, and D, of course, was second in the last regular season poll in 3A, and they won that pretty handily. It was 83-65. But at least they got to the semifinals.
Yep.
And then in the championship game, De La Salle beat the 2 seed Matamidi. It was 67-46, so they won by 21 points pretty comfortably. So, and do you know how many straight years De La Salle's gone to state? This was their 15th straight state tournament.
Gosh.
Yeah, well, the Thorson years.
Yeah,
Right.
Dominated.
Yep. And then the next one, the next seed, or next section is section 5. The number 1 seed was Totino Grace. They were rated first in the final season poll.
They struggled to get through the section.
They beat up on Big Lake in the semifinal because they got a bye first round, and then they beat Becker by 79-44. So what's that? 35 points, and that's for the championship. But they by winning that they'd be going for their 4th title in the last 5 years. So pretty good run.
Totino played Blaine during the regular season at Totino, and in the second half they had and Blaine made the state tournament as an 8th seed. They had running time in that game.
Oh, that's right. They do that in high school, don't they? If the team is far enough ahead, that's like a mercy
rule.
Right.
mercy rule. So,
Right.
Wow. Section 6, you talked about these guys already, Scott. This was the number 1 seed, Richfield. They also had an easy time. They beat. Now they played West Tonka in a quarterfinal because West Tonka played someone else, and I forget who it was. That was one of those play-in games. There was 8 and 9, and West Tonka, the 9, actually won the game. But then the bad news, they had to play Richfield, and they just got blown out. But they had a neat Richfield. They just owned that section because then they played Holy Angels and beat them handily. And then in the championship game, they beat Orono, the 2 seed, 87-58. It's almost.
Orono must have been down this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
They have one thing in common, though, Richfield and Orono. They got the same nicknames. They're both called the Spartans. So that's all they had in common this year was their nicknames. So Section 7, that's way up north. That's Grand Rapids. They were number 1 seed. You know what their nickname is now? They changed it sometime in the 90s.
I don't.
They were the Indians.
Right.
And now they're the Thunderhawks.
Underhawks?
Thunder, like.
Oh, Thunderhawks. Oh, okay.
Thunderhawk. I didn't know there was such a thing. Maybe there's a Thunderhawk. I don't know. They come out during a storm or something. I don't know. But that's who they won their section handily too. They beat North Branch in the quarterfinals and Chisago Lake in the semifinals, and then they beat Hibbing, the 3 seed, 60-53. That was a close game.
Boney, I'm going to defer to you on that because I know you followed that section.
6 and 7. Drive up to Grand Rapids, catch a game, come back home. So,
yeah.
Sorry I turned you down on that trip.
And then finally, Section 8. The number 1 seed was Sartell, and they rolled over Little Falls in the quarterfinals, St. Cloud Tech in the semifinals, and then in the finals they played Fergus Falls, who was a 6th seed, and they won that 72-48. So again, not even that close game. Okay, now we'll go to 4A, which we're more familiar with here. By my unofficial count, of the 62 teams that played postseason games in 4A, 50 of them, or nearly 81%, were from the greater Twin Cities metro area. And that's just where the population is, I guess. And by greater metropolitan area, I mean the 7 counties like Anoka, Carver, Dakota, Hennepin, Ramsey, Scott, and Washington. That's your greater Twin Cities area. And then the final poll, the coaches poll, all 10 were Twin Cities teams. They were all from the same area. So, but unlike Class 3A, as we mentioned already, not all of the number 1 seeds went to state. Let's start with Section 1. That was Lakeville South as the number 1 seed, and they did go on to the state. They beat John Marshall in the quarterfinals in Owatonna, and then they played Farmington, the number 2 seed, and won there. But you know where they played their championship game? Because of the southern schools, they played it down in Rochester at the Mayo Civic Arena. That's where they played it, so they had to go south to play all their games.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, did you guys see, since it's 4, I'm just going to ask, did you ever see Lakeville South play during the season?
Nope.
Okay.
Did not.
That was their first state tournament since 2011. So
Okay.
they were
Yeah,
for a
North
while.
is Lakeville North's kind of dominated. I think they're in the same section.
Yeah, Lakeville North got upset, I think, in the quarterfinals or something.
Okay.
They didn't get to the finals to play them. Farmington instead. Okay, we'll go to section 2. That's an interesting one because Prior Lake was the number 1 seed. They got to they got a bye, I'm sorry. Chaska was in that section. They were the 2 seed, and they were 9th in the top 10 poll at the end of the season. They beat Shakopee, which was a 7 seed. And then Prior Lake beat Chanhassen in the semifinals. Chaska beat Eden Prairie, which is the number 3 seed. And then in the championship game, Chaska upset Prior Lake, 62-59. Close game.
Yeah.
Close game. So, you didn't see Chaska or Prior Lake this year, did you?
Nope.
It's probably harder to get down to the
Well,
south
yeah,
and
I mean,
southwestern area, so.
we were talking about when the state tournament teams and the teams from the South, we knew nothing about them.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
in the final coaches poll, I
Yeah.
think Chaska was number 9.
Yes, yeah, I
and Apple
forget to mention
Valley
that,
wasn't,
yeah.
Wasn't
even
even-
ranked
yes.
in the top
Right,
10. So
right.
that's, it's fairly close to where I live.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't think there was any
Yeah.
reason to go down there.
Let's go to section 3. The number 1 seed was Egan, and they just steamrolled over Bloomington Jefferson in the quarterfinals and Park. They used to be known as Park of Cottage Grove, now they used to go by Park. They just shortened it. And then the 2 seed Rosemount, they beat Burnsville in the quarterfinals, but they got upset by Apple Valley in the semifinals. And then another upset in the finals because then Apple Valley beat Egan, the number 1 seed. So, yeah.
And I had forgotten Apple Valley was in the state tournament last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They looked really good in the state.
Oh,
We'll get to that. They looked
yeah.
really good. So,
They did.
again, this is the south end of town, so you probably didn't get a chance to see these guys, any of these teams like
No.
Egan or Apple Valley or Rosemount either. So,
So out of my radius, too far from the heights.
yeah, I understand. Okay, we'll go to section 4, and I'm sure you heard of this team. Number 1 seed was Tartan. Not only were they first in the poll, but they went through the whole season in sections undefeated. They didn't even lose a game until they got to state. So, heck of a team. East Ridge got knocked off. They were the number 2 seed, and they lost to Cretin Durham Hall, which is the 3 seed. All 3 of those teams were in the top 10 polls, so that was loaded for talent. And then again in the final, that sounded like it was a great one too. Tartan beat Cretin 69-61 in overtime.
I was at that game.
Oh, you went to that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so and
As did I.
okay. Where did they play that at Carton?
Yes.
It,
It was at Tartan.
But that must have been a packed gym.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
The atmosphere in there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I think we're lucky we got a ticket because I talked to somebody and he said, "How'd you get a ticket?" Because they sold that out.
Wow. Yeah,
was a
that
great game.
Yep. Yeah. Cretin had a great team. And that's a loaded section. Section 5, okay, that was Maple Grove. They were the number 1 seed, and they were 3rd in the top 10 poll. They rolled to wins over Park Center and Moundsview easily. And then the number 2 seed, Osseo, they won their games handily as well. And then when they got to the final, Maple Grove beat Osseo 73-61. And if I'm not mistaken, guys, aren't they in the same school district, Maple Grove and
Yes.
Osseo? So that must
And
really be...
and Park. Well,
Is Park Center also in the Osseo district? I think they
I
are.
think so.
They got at least 3 high schools.
I think they are.
But
Yeah.
that must be a heck of a rivalry too, when they get from the same district. Because I know my brother Dave, he said whenever Anoka and Andover were playing football and stuff like that, it was always crowded because it was the same school
Right.
district. Okay, section 6, another loaded section for talent. I think some referred to by some as the Wayzata Hopkins section. Seems like every year they're playing for the title, but Wayzata was the number 1 seed, 2nd in the state. They easily beat Edina in the semifinals, and then Hopkins had beaten Robbinsdale Armstrong, and Buffalo, which was a good team. I mean, they were also state rated, but they beat them by like 18 points in their game. And then maybe you guys can talk a little bit more about this. The section championship between Wayzata and Hopkins, I'm sure was anticipated to be a great game, and it was just a blowout. It wasn't like Did you go to that game, Steve?
We couldn't get tickets.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Was that right at high school? They played at school.
It was
okay.
the higher seed, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we've seen it together, but I've seen the region final many years in a row, and it's always
Yeah.
Wayzata beating Hopkins.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
5 years in a row, I believe.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is? Yeah, I streamed it. So
Oh,
did
that's
you see
right.
I
it?
did.
Yeah,
I did
Yeah.
as well.
And,
they blew them out.
they blew them out. I mean,
Yeah.
Wayzata was 11 for 15 from 3 in the first
Oh,
half.
man.
They were
That'll make
amazing.
yeah,
They were.
that's tough to come back from that.
You know,
so,
and
yeah.
we had kind of talked about maybe this is the year that this is Kenny Novak's
Yeah,
last
he's probably
year,
gonna
and
retire and-
Maybe Hopkins will upset Wayzata. No, sir.
Wow. Yeah, just a blowout. It was 105 to 70.
Yeah, they
35
Oh,
points.
it was unbelievable.
Like
My
40
son and I went to see Buffalo and Hopkins in the semi.
Oh, okay, okay.
And Buffalo's going to have a good team.
Yeah, they had like two
They have
really good
everybody. I think
sophomores.
they have
right?
everybody coming back.
That's another thing. Just a quick aside. I'm amazed at how developed. Well, they even have ninth graders, but sophomores that are playing regular varsity. I mean,
It's
that,
amazing. Yeah.
It is.
we were half a century ago when we were playing, but it was so unheard of to have even sophomores playing. And
Yeah, I
now
think
you-
Buffalo, I think their two best players are sophomores.
Yeah, yeah.
And their next 4 top players are juniors.
since everybody's
but,
back next year.
But they're back. They're not
Yeah.
very big.
No.
Right.
But we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later about
wow.
2026.
And then
They're good.
Section 7, that was Blaine. They were the number 1 seed, and Andover was the number 2 seed. And again, that's another intra-district rivalry, right? They're both Anoka Hennepin School District. And that was a good game, too. It was an overtime game where Blaine beat Andover 81 to 74. So did you ever see any of those teams play?
I did not.
Okay, I just
did
wondered
not.
because it was in the North End, but
Yeah, Andover had some good teams a couple years ago. They had a couple of really good players, but I
Yeah.
did not see them this year.
And then finally, Section 8. That's kind of a northern section, I guess, in the state. The number 2 seed, Bemidji, had lost at home to Elk River, which is, I didn't realize Elk River was in that section, but they got beat by them in the semifinals. And Alexandria, which moved up to 4A, right, from 3A, they had easy wins against St. Michael, Albertville, and Monticello in the first 2 rounds. And then in the championship game, they beat Elk River. And the closer game was 64 to 58. So, but gosh, half the teams from Section 8 were actually outstate. So that would have been tough to go see them too, driving up to Alex or someplace that to watch a game. So,
Right. Although, Alex, those guards are worth the price of admission.
Really?
Those 2 brothers
Yeah.
are really good players.
Yep.
Wits.
And I think what we often do, if there's a team like Alexandria, we're not going to drive up there, but you look at the schedule, and they'll play in a
down.
tournament, maybe a holiday tournament, or they'll come down and play somebody, and that's the opportunity to see them. Like I got to see Buffalo without driving up there. They played right in my neighborhood against Washburn,
Okay,
so I was
okay.
able to see them. So Scott and I
good idea.
utilized that
Yep,
to
good
see some
idea.
of the good
Good idea.
teams.
So, okay, so once these champions were determined in the sections, then they seeded them. That's done at the state high school level. The 1 seed in 3A was Totino Grace. The 2 seed was De La Salle. 3 seed was Richfield. And the 3 schools, 1, 2, 3. 4 seed was Northfield. The 5 seed was Mankato East. The 6 seed was Sartell. And then the 7th seed was Grand Rapids. They were, they were 7. And the 8th seed was South. I imagine it's got to be kind of humbling, though, right? To be the number 1 seed in your section, and then you go to the state and you're the 8th seed, and you're playing against like Totino Grace. It's like, oh, okay. Well, at least I got to state.
Right,
Look at
right.
it. And then our 4A seeds, 1 seed was Tartan. The 2nd seed was Wayzata. 3 seed was Maple Grove. 4 seed was Lakeville South. 5 seed Chaska. 6 seed Alexandria area. 7 seed Apple Valley. And then Blaine was bringing up the rear, you might say. So, okay, so on to the tournaments themselves. Now, you didn't see any 3A of the state tournament, right? Did you just go to 4A?
Correct.
Okay.
I watched a little on TV, but I never attended a 3A
Okay,
game.
okay.
My wife wouldn't let me go to any more games.
Yeah, I can understand that. So I'm going to start with 3A, even though they started a day later. I'm going to save more for 4A because there were more upsets. But the first day of the 3A was on a Wednesday, and they played at Williams at the barn. All their games are played there. Totino Grace just rolled over South. It was like 90 to 56, almost doubled it at 18 steals. South shot like just under 28%, and just a long afternoon for them. In the second game, that first game started at 10 in the morning. I didn't realize they started so soon.
Right.
You wake up and play basketball. So then the second game, Northfield, it was kind of cool for them. Like I said, it had been almost 100 years since they played. They did win their game. They beat Mankato East 56-49. In the third game, De La Salle just rolled over Grand Rapids, the 7th, 87-37, 50 points in the state tournament. Yikes. Wow. Oh, it's tough. And the fourth game of the day, that started at 4 o'clock, Richfield, they had a good game with Sartell. It was 72-62, so it wasn't a major blowout like some of the others. So, did you see much of those games like on TV, or I didn't? I just wasn't able to get to the quarterfinals.
Well,
so.
yeah, and the quarterfinals aren't on TV.
Oh, they don't even stream those?
They don't televise, televise any quarterfinals.
Okay,
They start at the semis.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying. And then we get to the semifinals. It was played 2 days later on March 26th. Dino Grace, it was a nice story for Northfield, but they were no match for it. It was 89-61. They won that pretty handily. In the second semifinal, De La Salle, that was a good game. Richfield and De La Salle was like 73-70. Yeah. I mean, that must have been a real nail biter, just going back and forth. It must have been a really fun game to watch. A lot of quick players, and I'm sure it was exciting to watch. Okay, then we'll get to the championship game. That was played on a Saturday afternoon. I actually saw all of that because it was on 45. And that was a good game because Totino Grace won, but they had, I think, a 10-point lead at the half. But D came back. It was 72-70 the final. So
right.
Excellent game.
I did not think that D could play with Totino.
Yeah.
And they did. They gave them. They could have won that game.
They could have won that game.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
Really close game. So.
That was a very good game.
And then, do you guys? I know you read the Star Tribune. Did you read that article? I think they listed 5 players who stood out at the boys' basketball tournament. And it included all the classes, but one of those 5 was from Totino Grace. And I apologize in advance. I'm going to have trouble with this guy's name. He's a 6'6" senior guard, Dothan Ijadimbola or something like that.
Yeah.
He's going to Drake next year. Right? But he had a really good game. He had a couple of doubles during the tournament, and he was one of those 5 players on that the 5 players made a difference.
TG they went 10 deep.
Yeah.
They had 10 guys that could all play. Yeah. And they lost some seniors, but they're gonna be good next year. And you never know who might transfer. You know, that's part of the equation.
That's
now
true.
As well.
That's true.
So, I'll tell you what, the truth of it, TG could have easily beaten Chaska to win 4A. I mean, they were as good as any 4A team.
Wow.
They were.
Wow.
They were.
Now, on to the Class 4A state tournament. While Class 3A featured the 1 and 2 seeds in the finals, Totino Grace and De La Salle, the 2026 4A tournament featured underdogs in the finals. Let's get to the quarterfinals of that tournament. Now, those games you guys saw, right? Mm-hmm. Did you see all 4?
We did.
Wow, okay.
It was kind of a long day because, to your point, they started at 10 o'clock.
10 in the morning,
10, 12, 2, and 4.
And they played Tuesday, March 24th, and that was at Target Center.
Yes.
Or the Timberwolves place.
Right. Yes.
And let's just talk about that first game. Tartan was playing, was it Blaine? Oh gosh, okay. Yeah. 72-44. Did they let up on them toward the end, or did they just kept?
I don't remember the details, but Tartan was never in trouble. Yeah. I mean, they won handily, which we expected.
They had 4 players in double figures.
I mean, Bobby, going into the tournament, I think you and I agreed that we thought that Tartan, Maple Grove, or Wayzata all had a shot at winning this thing.
Yeah. With maybe Alex is an outsider.
Right.
But they had a clear delineation with those top 3.
Okay, so in the second game, that was Chaska and Lakeville South. I guess you call it a mild upset because Chaska was the 5 seed and Lakeville South was a 4. but they won 71-53.
Yeah,
so
they
They must
were
have
the
looked
better
really
team.
good.
They played really well.
Yeah,
Well-
we had not seen Chaska. We were very
Very
impressed.
impressed.
Oh,
and
and
they're underclassmen too.
Yes.
I've left this out, but they started the season at 3-4.
Yes.
And that was their
yes.
23rd
Yes,
consecutive win.
exactly.
So,
I
man.
saw that. I was looking at their schedule. They
Yeah.
lost 3 in a row, and then they won.
Yeah,
to your
20.
point.
That was their 23rd straight
Yes.
win. So they,
Yes.
yeah, no,
But it kind of makes sense because they were, young
They're young.
kids, and it takes a while to find their stride, and they certainly did.
And in the third game Tuesday, talk about upsets. That was number 7, Apple Valley, beating the number 2 seed Wayzata. And I don't think anybody was
The
picking that
biggest
one.
upset we've seen, I can't remember a bigger upset.
Yeah.
I agree, and
Yeah.
and especially not only the seed difference, but just Wayzata won it last year. They had every guy back pretty much.
2 D1 players. on
Two
the
Yes,
D1,
yes.
although they didn't, as well as they shot from 3 in the region final, they were poor. Anderson was 5 for 18.
He's the gopher,
from the
right? The
field,
future
the gopher,
Yeah.
and he was
Nolan
1 for
Anderson.
11 from 3.
Oh. And how did the other, the player of the year, Mr. Basketball, Wiggins?
He played well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
Christian
play
Wiggins,
well.
is that his name? Christian?
Christian Wiggins.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man, so, yeah, 75-73.
But
You
he
know-
had his shot blocked. They had the ball underneath the basket with 4 seconds to go.
Yeah.
They gave it to Wiggins. He went the length of the floor, and an Apple Valley guy, and I don't even think it was a big guy, blocked his shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know,
I imagine the crowd must have been stunned. I mean,
Oh.
just,
It was. I mean, looking at my notes, Wayzata jumped out to an 18-6 lead, and we
Yeah.
thought, well, here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
going to play out. And I think Scott mentioned that Anderson was 1 for 11. I think Wayzata as a team from 3 were 4 for 22. So they shot very poorly from 3.
yeah, strange. Well, that's why they play the games. On paper,
Exactly.
you can
Right.
say one thing, but you still got to play the game. So good credit to Apple Valley. It was 75-73. That was the final. So, man,
Yeah.
what a game. And then the last game of the quarterfinals on that Tuesday, it was kid from Maple Grove, Max Iverson, that name. He had a really good game, 15 for 23 from the field overall. He had 41 points. They beat Alexandria, 82-65.
I think Scott and I were saying it's one of the best performances
yeah.
we've ever seen in the state tournament. He
No
was
question.
incredible.
No
6
question.
of his 10 three-point attempts, 15 of 23 from the field overall. Yeah,
It was an incredibly
Yeah.
entertaining team.
Yeah.
Or a game.
Yeah.
Maple Grove is, to see somebody score 41 against Alexandria with
Yeah.
2 really good players.
Yeah.
And both teams played well. There was good flow. It was a highly entertaining game.
Yeah, he's going to North Dakota State.
Yeah, right.
And the 2 Witt brothers were really good players. The ones, the better, but he
the
was.
Wits were with Alexandria.
Yeah, with Alexandria, and,
Yeah.
and they list the All-State team in the Star Tribune or whatever that is.
Yeah,
And
yeah, the varsity.
the one Witt kid is undecided. So
Okay. Well, I hope he decides to go to the U. It's too bad some of these kids that are going away, though. Drake and North Dakota State. And
we might
Iowa
get him
State.
on the second go around
yeah, maybe these
once
days.
they go in the portal.
Yeah, maybe these days. And Wiggins is going to Iowa State, right?
He is.
He is.
Wiggins? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to the semifinals now. They were played on a Thursday. I noticed that the 4A was set up pretty nice. They got a day off between each round, didn't they? They played on the Tuesday, and then they didn't play again until Thursday. And then it's Saturday. So they got a chance to rest a little. Just a quick aside, the 1A class plays it like the traditional one-class tournament used to be played. They start on Thursday, they play the next day on Friday, they play on Saturday. So 3 days.
Is that
It's
right?
only 3 days. They don't have any days off. But 4A gets a day off between the.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it's set up, I guess. And they got so many teams now. There's 32 teams, and they have to use 2 different arenas. And then the consolation games are played over in St. Paul, I think, at Concordia. So in the Class 4A semifinals, then there are 2 games played on Thursday, March 26th at Williams at the Barn. And what a pair of semifinals they were. In the first game, which started at 6 p.m., Another major upset, Chaska, the number 5 seed. Well, this was also a huge upset. I mean, I know the Wayzata and Apple Valley game was big, but Tartan was number 1 and undefeated, and they beat them. Well, it was 60-51. They took it to them. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's notable that the best player on Tartan, Kevin Wilson, had a really bad shooting game.
okay.
He's a 3-point bomber, and I think he was 4 for 22 from the field, 4 for 18 from 3. And, he's their best player, their leading scorer, and he just really struggled.
He did.
And Chaska, I think they got 17 points each from, I don't know the names, the freshman and the junior.
Right.
They played really, really
Yeah.
good games.
yeah, well, it's a good time to play a really good game.
Yeah, I think Chaska has everyone coming back. We're going to talk about next year's teams.
They
but,
do.
In Tartan, to mention kids transfer now, Tartan, 2 of their starters this year were transfers from other schools. One from Johnson. He was
St. Paul Johnson.
the leading scorer on his team the year before, and then the other kid, I can't remember where he's from. So they were, big parts of that team also.
Okay.
And Tartan's going to be good next year, as we'll talk about. Their 2 best players are coming back. So
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then we'll get to the second game, the second semifinal that night. Again, a huge game. It started at 8 o'clock. Apple Valley, the number 7 seed, knocked off another higher seed opponent with a 73-63 win over number 3 Maple Grove. So
Maple Grove beat Wayzata twice during the year.
yeah, wow.
And then here, it's
they've got 2 of the best forwards in the state and a 7-1 center. Maple Grove is certainly a good team, and we saw Maple Grove get beat by Tartan earlier in the year.
Right.
Wow.
But
Right.
Apple Valley, they played really well, and their 2 best players, Parker and Young, combined for 41 points.
Wow.
And for Maple Grove, Iverson had another good game with 24, and Ann got 15, and he's a good player being recruited by the Gophers. I think they've offered him a scholarship.
They have.
So it was a great game, but Apple Valley played tremendous.
Yeah, it was.
Their
it
2
was-
best players
yeah,
had great games.
Just amazing how well they played in the state tournament, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally on to that 4A championship game. It was a Saturday night, started at 8 o'clock. Chaska, number 5 seed, against the number 7 seed, Apple Valley. In that State High School League's newsletter I was talking about earlier, the League Journal, the lead sentence of the story for that game read, "Score 1 for the underdogs," because you had a 5 and a 7 playing. That had never happened, according to my information. And but it's going to be a game they'll remember for a long time, because it was great from beginning to end. So, yeah, I said Chaska, like I said, we mentioned, they started out at 3-4. 3 wins, 4 losses, and then complete reversal. They won the next 25 games, including that championship game last Saturday, 63-55 Upper Valley. That was the first time since 2004, which I think I mentioned earlier, that they'd won the state. But you were talking about the young kids, the junior guard, Kalen Jokum, is that his name?
Yes,
Jokum?
yes.
And then the 9th grade forward, Jed Keenan. Ninth grade.
9th grade.
They each had 12 points, and then Tyler Forrest, he's a junior guard. He had 11 points for Chaska. The young
It's
kids came through.
interesting. 4 of their players were in double figures, and game high was 12. I mean, it
balance.
was well-rounded. They were so impressive. They spread the floor really well, and they had at least 4 guys that could shoot the 3, and they could also put it on the floor. They made their free throws down the stretch.
yeah.
They're well coached.
They are.
Very impressive.
The freshman kid, it was in the semis. This kid, the game was on the line. He stepped up and hit 2 threes. I mean, as a freshman, to be that good in that
confidence,
moment in the state tournament.
He just took over.
Amazing.
He wanted
did.
the ball, and he didn't hesitate. He shot, and he knocked it down.
And conversely, Apple Valley in that final, they had the one kid, this young kid who was an all-conference, or all state. He had 4.
4 points.
The other kid only had 2. The other front line guy, he's going to the U to, I forget his name, to play baseball to
yeah.
pitch.
Oh,
But
okay.
so the one kid, they just kept going to him. He had 25 shots.
His name is Trey Parker.
Trey
Yeah,
Parker.
yeah,
Yes.
He had 33
33,
points, but it's not just the point total. It seemed like half of the shots he made were hero shots.
They were.
They knew he was the only guy that was going to hurt him, so they were throwing guys at him, and he would be beating the clock, hitting these fall-away threes. It was a
Yeah.
tremendous,
Yep.
tremendous
It was.
performance.
But he didn't get any help.
No,
Yeah, it was all
no.
up to
Young he's a poor shooter, but he didn't get to the hoop like he did earlier.
He seemed like he was tentative.
He was very tentative. Yeah.
We mentioned the young kids for Chaska coming through. That Jokum, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, because Parker had made a 3-pointer with like a minute 37 to go or something. It was like 57 to 55. And then the Jokum hit like 6 free throws or something after that.
In the last
And
minute and
that's
a
the
half,
closest
I
they
think.
could get. They couldn't get any closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kept following him because they
They
had
did.
to, and
Yeah,
he
he
just,
get
and
the
he
free
made
throws.
everyone.
He
just-
made everyone.
just drilled him.
How many times in the past would we watch like Gopher basketball? We'd see Gophers miss free throws.
Oh, I know.
And you got this junior
Exactly.
Knocked
from
him down, yeah.
You know,
the ice in his veins. Just
Not so it used to. They always used to have the 3A. They'd have the 1A and the 2A games, championship games in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then the 3A and the 4A at night. A few years ago, they changed it so
Yeah.
the 2A and the 4A.
Right.
We saw a really good 2A championship game between Minnehaha and Goodhue.
Yeah.
And this Minnehaha team, I think they're all coming back. And the one kid, you remember Brian Cupido,
Sure
who
do.
played quarterback. His
Pretty
son
Gophers.
starts as an 8th grader. He was an
That's
all.
his son that plays for me.
Yes,
Oh,
he was an
all.
all tournament team. He also is the quarterback on the football
Oh, my
team.
gosh.
He started as a 7th grader. I mean, and they have everybody coming back.
And they've got that 6'7" junior
Oh.
that is very
that Troop?
athletic. Yes,
Okay,
Troop,
okay,
and
yes.
he can shoot the 3. I mean, I don't know if there's a better junior in the state.
We said, I think, 2A, the 2A championship or champion, they'll be favored. D will probably be heavily favored next year in the 3A.
I think so.
And Chaska, one of the teams will be favored next year.
I think
also.
so. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get together next year to talk about this. See how accurate we were with the picks.
Well, probably better than this year.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Who would have picked a 5 and a
Well,
7
exactly.
for 4A? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great great ending. That was the last game of the tournament. It was a great way to end it. With a really
And I
exciting.
had dinner there. I would not recommend a bratwurst there for the dinner. Almost took me down.
Okay, 2 players from 4A were among those. Remember earlier I mentioned the kid from Totino Grace, Dothan, that made one of those 5 players. There were 2 from 4A, and it was the junior guard, Kalen Jokum. He was named to that team, Mr. Free Throws. And then Trey Parker, that guard for Apple Valley. He's 6'2". He was a senior. It's too bad he can't be back next year. But they were also among those 5. And the other 2, just for the record, remember I said there's 5. I mentioned 3. One of them was a kid, he was just a Hoosier from that Hill Beaver Creek. I think he must have been a football player. He's like 6'5". He's a forward. His name is Jamin Metzger. He was one of those players. And then Kellen Troop, that junior forward from Minnehaha.
Right.
They made those 5 outstanding players in that tournament. So
Well, I mean, Max Iverson, was he not part of that?
I think they're just
No,
underclassmen.
Oh,
weren't they just talking about?
They called them 5 standout players. He had to cut off somewhere, I suppose. Made it 6.
They must have been
Iverson,
talking about underclass.
Yeah, because Max Iverson was the best player in the
41
tournament.
points in that first game.
Yeah. Well, also the kid from, is it Wasika? He's on the All-State
Yes.
team. He had 51 in
And
a
they
game,
lost.
in a loss.
They lost.
Yeah.
I saw him play in the football championship against Annandale. He was like a safety or
Yeah,
D-back.
he's going to play football in college, not basketball.
Okay, wow. Yeah,
Yep.
good athlete. So, for the record, because these kids I kind of felt sorry for them, they didn't get to go to the state championship. But do you guys remember who won the 3rd place in the consolation championships in both classes?
I think Wayzata.
Wayzata. And,
Yeah.
and Anderson, I read that he came back.
32.
Yeah, he had 32.
Because, Nolan Anderson going to the Gophers, he did not play well down the stretch.
Yeah.
I saw him play really well a couple times this year. He's a good player, but he struggled in the biggest moments, but he had 32 in the consolation game.
And we should probably mention, we both saw the other kid going to the Gophers, Toe.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Tomes.
Tomes,
Yeah.
Cedric
We
Tomes,
don't-
or something like that.
Tomes.
We probably both agree that neither one of those guys are going to be like huge impact guys their freshman year. You saw him when he got 50 against Totino Grace. I know.
At Totino
At
Grace.
Totino.
Wow.
And then I saw him, he had a poor game in the regions against Cretin-Derham Hall.
Right.
They hosted Cretin-Derham Hall in the first round of the regions. And, yeah, he did not play well. He took a lot of bad shots, but I think he's forced to because he's the only scorer on that team.
And what school is he with again?
Eastridge.
Eastridge. Okay, and they got upset
Right.
in the sections. Okay,
But,
okay.
I think the Gophers are looking at him as kind of a pure point guard, not the scorer that he is in high school.
Okay.
Because he's 6'1", maybe,
Okay.
and he's not going to be a Big Ten number 2 guard.
No.
He's going to have to be a
point guard.
a distributor.
Yeah, just,
I agree.
pass it
But
off,
he's
so.
a good ball handler, and if you leave him alone, he can definitely shoot it.
Big time range.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the one right on the consolation winner. It was Wayzata. You know who won third place? It was Tartan.
Oh,
won
yeah.
third
They
place.
rolled.
They beat Maple Grove
Oh,
92 to 85.
Oh, that's right.
It was
In
close.
overtime, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was.
Okay,
Yeah, that would have
okay.
been a great game.
Well, we saw him play earlier.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, that
92,
would have been a
85.
really good game.
And then in the 3A, the third place winner was, do you know? It was Richfield. They beat Northfield 78 to 70.
Yeah.
And then the consolation winner was Mankato East. You know, they got beat in the first round by Northfield, but they beat South in a close game, and then they beat Sartell in the championship. Those games are all played at Gangelhof over at Concordia. I've never even been in there. I've been to the
No.
football field.
I have.
But
It's a nice place to watch a game.
I think like they play volleyball games there and that stuff. It must be like a basketball, volleyball arena or something. I think so. Okay, that's where they play. And like I said, they've got so many teams playing now. They have to have venues more than just one.
Right.
It's like one class of Williams Arena. So let's talk a little bit about 2026. I know it's a whole year off, but you saw a lot of young rising stars in the tournament. Tell us what your thoughts are. Like, what you think could happen in 2026 from what you saw this year?
Well, I'll throw a couple of teams out there, and Scott, you can jump in. I mean, Tartan is going to be good. Their 2 best players are coming back.
They're sophomores, yep.
Yeah, Kevin Wilson, the other kid, is a sophomore. He's what, 6?
Or
Yeah, maybe a little taller than that.
Yeah.
But very
I
athletic,
can't remember his name.
and they're going to be tough. And I don't think that they play a murderous schedule over
No.
there. Although they're going to have to beat Cretin-Derham Hall because Cretin-Derham Hall is going to be good. They're losing that JoJo Mitchell, who's a terrific player, but they have 3 very good players coming back.
Yep.
Any other teams?
Well, Chaska's going to
They got guys coming-
They got
yeah,
everybody.
young,
They have
yeah.
everybody coming
Yeah.
back, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, they have 4 juniors and a freshman
Right.
this
Yeah.
year that are
Yeah.
coming back.
they? Yeah, and Maple Grove with the 7-footer and Ann.
Yeah,
And so that's a
they're gonna
great
be very
nucleus.
good. I think Hopkins. They
Yes.
have the 6'9" kid Nur,
Yep.
and then Moore, who is going to be, I think, a junior or a sophomore.
Right.
He's a point guard. He's really good. So those are
Hopkins.
2
Okay.
excellent players. We talked a little bit about Buffalo. 2 sophomores and 3 juniors are in their starting lineup. I think it's also notable to talk about Wayzata. They've had an unbelievable run that goes back almost 10 years of just excellent teams and great players. I think they may have finally run out.
Cupboard might be bare.
Yeah, I mean, they
no
were,
question.
heavily seniors, and unless there's going to be people moving in, I think that they're going to struggle. So Hopkins, might be the team to
Might finally get
beat
to the
next year. Yeah.
But I still, you never know if kids are going to be transferring to
I know,
schools.
I know.
mean, that happens.
It's the wild
And
card.
and someone said to me, "Oh yeah, it's open enrollment now." It is open enrollment, but you the state high school league, and I didn't go into the specific details of how it works, but you're supposed to live in the district in order to be eligible to play. Mm-hmm. Now,
somehow they're getting around it. They're living at their grandparents' house or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly a big wild card. I mean, going into the year, I thought Maple Grove might be the team to beat because they have two really good forwards, and they had a 7-1 kid coming in. Yep. I mean, that's a huge, huge impact.
And was there anyone else from 4A, or I was going to ask you about 3A too? You said De La Salle.
I think De La Salle has got to be favored.
Yeah,
but
they're really good.
But TG is going to be right up there.
Yeah. And who's the kid? Is it Carroll, the coach at
Carroll?
TG?
Yes.
And he's done pretty well.
He runs one of those AAU programs.
Okay.
So that's his main job. So he sees all these kids,
right?
And
he knows all about them coming up. So.
Yes.
You know, TG, they should think about moving up. I said the same thing about De La Salle when Thorson was the coach. They were in 3A. They would win handily, and they were probably the best team in the state for most of those.
Yeah.
You know, they won, 5 or 6 in a row?
They did.
Yeah, I think they did.
And they killed their opponent in the championship game. Yeah. They probably should have moved up. To Tino Grace, they've won it. You know, I mean, they had to struggle this year to win
5
it.
Years, yeah.
But 4 and 5 years, they probably won't, but they should consider moving up.
Now, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I remember the football team did that about 10 years ago. Ferguson, the coach, he got them to move up to that super big class, like Eden Prairie size schools, and they won it that 1 year.
Yes, they did.
But I know they've gone back since because I don't think they dominate. Like it's funny, it's gone from a football school to a basketball school over the last 20 years. So.
And it's funny, TG, they play a murderous schedule. I mean, during the regular season, they play everybody, and then once they get to into the 3A playoffs, then it's just a cakewalk typically. Yeah. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me, and you would think it would be unsatisfying for the players and the coaches because they could have easily won the big tournament championship this year.
I wonder if schools like D and Totino Grace purposely stay in 3A because they've got the best of both worlds. They can play 4A schools all year long and get the experience, but then go to the state tournament, either win it or get to the finals, and maybe that helps them recruit or draw interest to other kids. You want to play for a school that plays a lot of good teams. It usually gets to the state tournament every year.
I'm always rooting for the outstate teams because in 2A. Okay, so there's 2A and 3A. There are teams that are 1A that are in the metropolitan area, right?
Yes.
So these teams, they have an area, the metropolitan area that they can recruit to go to their schools.
Yeah.
Whereas these outstate schools, they're limited to the geographic, the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Just who lives in their town.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel the same way about the city. I mean, I watched for years, Minneapolis North, Patrick Henry. They were great for years. There's still a lot of really good city players, but they don't stay in the city. I remember a couple years ago, I went to see a regional game south at Wayzata. And I thought, wow, this is going to be a slaughter. But I went to see the game, and South had 2 sophomores that were great. And Wayzata ended up pulling away at the end, but they gave him a game, and I thought, wow, I can't wait to see South next year. Both kids left.
Yeah.
So, I feel bad for those city teams because you see a lot of these kids that we're talking about, a lot of them city kids.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. We all grew up playing with the same group of guys all the way through, and I think there's something special about that. Even going back to like Hoosiers.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah, and now AAU ball, it's all about AAU, and I'm sure these kids are playing with these guys and say, "Hey, let's get together and let's play at this school next year."
That's probably exactly what's happening.
No, I think it is.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
not going to go back.
It's changed. No,
it is what it is.
It is so. Let me just wrap up with a couple more questions. If you guys were in charge,
do we get overtime, Bobby, or
If you guys were in charge of the state high school league, is there anything about the tournament that you would want to change? Whether it's how sections are aligned, or what's maybe the one or two things that you probably do right away that you don't see right now?
Well, you touched on it
Yeah.
earlier, so
We probably differ on that. You would probably, although this year it worked out. Steve has said before, let's see the teams in 4A prior to sections. That way we make sure, or we have a better chance to get the best 8 teams in the state.
I think about Hopkins. 5 years in
Yeah.
a row, they got beat in the region
Yeah.
final.
Oh, was that
They
a-
were easily one of the best teams
Yeah.
in the state,
Yeah.
and the state tournament would have been more fun with them in it.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterfinals are almost always a blowout.
Yeah, true. That's true.
But I understand the other argument as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I love the fact that the semis and the finals are at Williams Arena, more intimate atmosphere. I mean, it is so much better to watch those games in person. You don't get the feel watching it on TV. And you don't have as much of an atmosphere in Target Center, but
No.
I love having the games at Williams Arena.
And we didn't talk about it. The finals at Williams Arena was really well attended. It was a big crowd, and it was loud. And then the quarterfinals at Target Center, it was during spring break, and
Couple
wasn't it
schools
Apple
hardly had
Valley?
anyone, yeah.
They didn't show up, and we were shocked by
know.
it. And one of the kids said, "Yeah, it's spring break. The buses aren't running, so nobody went to the games."
Wow.
I mean,
Also,
it
yeah,
was
I think
dead in
Wayzata didn't. They kind of sat on their hands, and all of a sudden their crowd, and they didn't have a very good crowd either. I think
They
they were
did
just
not.
expecting to win, and we'll go to the finals or whatever.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's kind of dead in there, but the atmosphere was great for the semis and the finals at Williams
Yeah.
Arena. That was a lot of fun.
I remember watching the final game Saturday night, Chaska and Apple Valley. It looked like it was a big crowd.
It was a
and
big crowd.
I know they use the TV cameras to show the kids they're looking to score, but it was just packed. I mean, there were a lot of kids there, and they were having a great time.
Right,
It's-
and Steve paints his face every year
Yes.
with his favorite school
you
colors.
still take your shirt off too, or
Occasionally. But I tell you what, I think these kids at all levels, 1A, 2A, 3A, there's so many kids that are such good players.
I know.
I mean,
the talent is
the talent is, and like the range, their range on their 3-point shots. They rarely just shoot it just past the 3.
Yeah, they're
they're
NBA
past the NBA level.
Yeah, they're
And-
shooting from
and-
the logo almost.
They are, and we talk about, and we've talked about, and the young players who step up. It's amazing.
You got 8th and 9th graders that are
Yeah.
playing like seniors. It's amazing. So.
Right.
Well, Steve and Scott, this has been a blast. Your love of and your enthusiasm for high school basketball, it's inspiring. It's impressive just to hear you talk about it. I know you guys love what you're doing. I hope you can just keep doing that for as long as you can, because then it gives us something to talk about. So
Well,
sure.
Scott
I really
and I
appreciate
have
it.
talked about it for a number of years now. We're kind of the last of the Mohicans. There used to be a lot of people like us that would show up to the games unaffiliated with any of the teams just to watch
Just to watch
basketball. We don't see that anymore. It's all people that have kids or grandkids.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story about that. We're in the championship game, and there was a woman sitting right in front of us, and she couldn't believe we were in the Apple Valley section.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe that we weren't standing and cheering wildly
Oh,
for
right,
Apple
right.
Valley,
Yeah, 'cause you-
because she would think, well, why are they here if they're not cheering for Apple Valley?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's good that you go. It's high school basketball is a great sport, and I think
it's my favorite.
I can see why you guys still love to do that, just to see the talent that's out there. So
You can have a lot of fun for $6
Oh,
on
yeah.
a Tuesday night in the middle of winter.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's
sometimes
amazing,
in
so-
TG they let you in free as a senior.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh man. I can certainly take advantage of that then. So.
Yeah, there's advantage to getting older.
Yep. Well, anyway, guys, you did a great job. I'm glad you came in for this, and maybe we can make this an annual thing. So, thanks again for coming in. Appreciate
Sounds good.
it.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Bobby.
Bob.
And to our listeners, again, thanks for hanging out with me, Bob Edholm, and my friends and fellow Heights guys, Scott Black and Steve Durant. We hope you join us for the next episode of Hanging Out with Bob, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until then, bye.